In this video, I am going to discuss an iron farm. What I'm going to do is it's nighttime now. I'm going to make it daytime to wake all the villagers up. The villager dynamics is they go through a routine each day. When they first wake up, they gather around the bell. They walk around, say good morning to everybody, basically start gossiping about what's going on today, blah, blah, blah. And in the script that's written, one of the things that the villagers do is they gossip about whether they need to have an iron gnome or not. And if enough villagers agree that an iron gnome was necessary for defense, one will appear, like they'll generate one. But as you can see, I've kind of proofed this whole underground research lab from having iron gnomes in it. I mentioned in the past that they're a little bit too dangerous in this tight space because if you accidentally click on one with the wrong mouse button, they'll kill you. You can't get away from them. They gang up on you and they just destroy you. So, however, in this particular design, I kind of do a different design each time. I put water in the corners, and it turns out that every once in a while, an iron gnome will in fact be generated in the corner. But it's too tall, so it can't get out, and it's too tight, so it starts taking damage from being attached to the walls. It's sort of like when gravel lands on you and you start taking damage until you can bust your way out of falling gravel. So the iron gnome will sit there, and eventually what happens is he dies, and of course a little bit of iron and sometimes roses will drop whenever an iron gnome dies. So what I've done after having witnessed this, I actually showed it in an earlier video when that happens, is I've put hoppers underneath those pools of water. So now every time an iron gnome spawns in any one of these four corners, I have a string of hoppers running underneath the floor that take all the drops, and this is only after probably 3 game days. They've generated enough iron gnomes in 4 game days. This is the chest where the hoppers collect. See, when I built the village originally, I didn't know that that was going to happen. I didn't actually think of making an iron farm. And the next time I build a village, I'm actually going to incorporate it in a much better way. I'm actually going to build an area along the outside of the village, but within range, because sometimes they also generate in vacancies on the opposite side of the wall of the lab. But nonetheless, this is what has been generated since I've done that. 64, 20, 88 iron ingots and 18 poppies. Oh, I said roses. It's actually a poppy. My mistake. I just knew it was a red flower. So that's how much iron has generated in a few game days since I made those modifications. Technically, I don't think I need to use all 4 water pools. I probably could have done it with just one vacancy just outside the village so that it can't get to me, but it can destroy itself in a tight alleyway on the other side of the wall, say. And they haven't actually generated one now, or if they did, it's already destroyed itself. But yeah, so I've actually seen them come up in all 4 corners over time. So it's kind of randomized on where they do. They used to generate right here in this water, because I tried to make this like a typical village with a bell in the center. So I made these platforms with a work table if I need to use it. They would actually generate right in the center of this. So I've actually defeated that this time by hanging the bell and also lowering the roof there. I could have actually come to think of it, and if I had thought of it back then, I could have actually put the hopper directly below the center, and then every iron gnome that has room to generate within the range of the village would generate in that spot. So maybe that's what I'll do next time. Nonetheless, though, it's just passive iron development. Like, you don't have to do anything now. It's going to continue producing iron till this world's over. And early game, stuff like that's important because it saves you having to mine, right? Now that I have a mending pickaxe, it doesn't really matter. I find iron all the time. But like I could actually offload these. Well, I got a bunch of bones, so I don't have room, but you know, I could offload those into a regular storage chest and make room for more if I had to.